Hello everyone, back this week after my bikepacking trip in Andalusia, Spain. I was there for 6 days from March 25th to March 31st, 2025, and I cycled for 5 of those days. I was super lucky with the weather and I had a great time. I've decided to split this trip video into 2 parts since I shot quite a lot of footage and there's a lot to cover. Also, I guess it was technically a pre-trip video as well. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the video I made for packing my 16-inch wheeled Brompnot for this trip. It's still applicable for any Brompton owners as well. This build uses the Brompton 12-speed Sturmey Archer hub, so you can get a very similar gearing with some slight modifications of a normal 12-speed Brompton. More details on my build here, but I feel like I'll need to make an updated video since I changed the fork to a carbon fork with hydraulic disc brakes since that video. I talk a lot about gear and technical stuff on this channel, so I'll start with going over some of that first. As mentioned in my packing video, all my gear and bike weighs around 23 kilograms. I weigh around 67 kilograms. That means I'm carrying around 90 kilograms total. The weight of the setup is important when planning such a hilly ride. Since my entire setup is relatively light, I don't need that many watts to move the speed and distance I planned, which is great since I'm not super fit in terms of cycling power output. Also, luckily there was almost no wind on this trip, since the front bag setup on a Brompton is not exactly aero. It did come in handy for slowing down on the descents though. I'm not trying to break any speed records, so if I can create more drag without overheating my brakes, that's desirable for me. The other consideration is gearing. My lowest gear is 21 gear inches, which has allowed me to stay in zone 2 for the majority of the climbing on this trip. My main priority was finishing the ride without bonking or cramping. If you keep a low power output by going slow, you won't overexert yourself. I didn't have to walk any of the climbs. I think the steepest it got with my fully loaded bike was 13%, and that was just a few short sections. You just gotta put your head down and power through a few pedal strokes. Nothing wrong with walking a climb, but it was just a personal challenge to see if I could do it. So the route itself. I talked a bit about the route I took in the pre-trip planning video, but here's an overview of what I thought about the route once I got there. It's hard to tell how busy a road is just from satellite images. The Delicite Greenway, and then the road down to Malaga is perfect for touring. The Greenway is an old rail line, so it's mostly flat and completely car-free, and there's plenty of towns to stop by to resupply. Once you leave the Greenway, it's a regular paved road, but it wasn't very busy. There are other expressways for cars that are probably faster, so there's only a few cars for local traffic and residents, which isn't many because it's essentially all farmland between the towns. Also note that broadly speaking, wild camping or stealth camping is illegal, but if you're smart about it and adhere to leave no trace principles, you probably won't be given too much trouble, even if you're caught. I spoke to a few people and it seems like the law is one thing, but whether it's actually enforced is another. But the Greenway has tons of towns along the route, so it's completely doable just staying in hotels, and you'll be bringing a lot less on your bike. Okay, enough talking about pre-trip stuff, and let's see how each day unfolded. So the first thing to do was lugging my bike to the Gatwick airport, which involved taking a train with one transfer. It was relatively smooth, just kind of annoying to bring around without anything but a shoulder strap. It was a very early flight the next morning, so I just decided to stay overnight at the airport for a few hours, and turned out the first night of camping was in the airport. Well, it's intact. Might as well unpack here where there's shade in a public space. Took about 35 minutes. Put the rack back on and pack everything. And into the city we go. After getting the bike ready, I just cycled around central Malaga just to find some food and check out some cycling cafe / cycling stores, bike stores. Eat Sleep Cycle was a cool little spot here. They did sell Bromptons, but it didn't seem like they had many Brompton kind of parts or accessories. I asked them for tires, and they didn't have anything. I guess it's more catered to road cyclists who tend to spend more money in a cycling holiday in Spain. Some rain. Hopefully this is the only rain on the trip. I also cycled around looking for alcohol for my alcohol stove, but I couldn't find it in Decathlon or hardware stores, pharmacies, or anywhere. Turns out they only sell it at like Chinese markets for some reason. It's kind of strange. I just explored the city a bit, and then took a car share using BlaBlaCar to Jaen. It was like a 2-hour car ride, nothing too eventful. The driver was late, but she drove like 140 kilometers on the highway and got there pretty much on time. But yeah, that's like another advantage of having a Brompton or a folding bike is that you can just toss it in the back of a car. If I had to take public transport, it would have had to be in a coach or a train, and from what I saw, it required a couple transfers and would take at least like 3 hours. And yeah, just tossing in a car 2 hours is a great time save and a lot less stressful. It only costs 12 pounds. I found the cats in the garbage dump area. Hello. Meow. Got dropped off on the outskirts of Jaen, and now I'm riding into town. Should be 25 minutes or so. These red flowers. These poppies. Oh God. Gotta be careful this mount, I guess. Jeez. Yeah, I guess I didn't learn my lesson yet, but I kept recording because it was just so nice out, but I stopped eventually. And here you can kind of see like some of the gravel roads I was riding on. The hard part is just some of these like bigger bumps, but gravel itself is fine. Just like the chunks of asphalt is the annoying part. Okay, I should stop this. Oh my God, this is some crazy off-roading on my Schwabi ones. Beautiful. And I think this is a freshly paved separated bike lane, not even marked yet. Am I the first to ride on this green paint? Oh, the good views back there. The masking tape is still on here. And after arriving in town, I checked into the Airbnb, which was really crappy. It was only 43 pounds for 2 nights, but it's still, they should have some kind of standards. After settling in a bit, I went to find some food, and there was a really good tapas place not too far from me. It also only cost 20 euros, which is pretty good for the quality. So today is the 30-kilometer kind of climb up Pico Almaden, and then 30 kilometers back down. I kind of emptied it out as much as possible. I think I'll still bring the tire just in case, and some snacks, a down jacket in case it gets kind of cold. It is supposed to hit like a peak of 17, but it's currently 10. Still have some bike repair spares, and then some camera stuff. So it's a bit heavy. I wish I brought my scale so I could tell, but I emptied out most of it with like no giant power banks or anything. Should be good. Maybe a full 5-hour ride. And this is the loadout for the day. Definitely brought more than I needed, but it's a good test for the next few days of climbing with more gear. This morning has mostly been this kind of big road, but the shoulder's pretty clean. Olives. Stopped to do a quick relube. I think the rain actually did quite a number on the drivetrain yesterday. Didn't feel like that much rain, but enough to need a re-waxing. Nice little town. Very nice field over there. Very peaceful. 8%, 7%. Oh, I think the climb actually starts now. I'm gonna take a water and snack break here and then head up. Oh my God, I hiked at 23 before. Doesn't look as steep. The Peak District looks steeper. What the hell? Oh, that's nice. Probably need water on the way back. Okay, 25K. I took my first gel. I swear the gradient calculation isn't accurate. Like, this was saying it's like 12. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But then before, it was like 20 something, which does not seem right. Like, it seemed like it was less steep. Not the best view, but figured I'd take a break before this steeper section. Actually, I do see a yellow bit, which gives me hope. 30% feels like downhill now. Jeez. Okay, I made it at the end of the paved section. The gravel bits don't look too bad. I might keep going for a bit. I'm probably not going to do that last or this third climb. It's kind of crazy. 11:26, 30K. Okay, so yeah, that's 30K. And let's going back is gonna be pretty quick because it's like all downhill. So there's time. I mean, I don't really have a deadline, but I think we'll keep going down here to see what it's like. Oh, stunning. Oh my God. I don't know what the footage is gonna be like. It was super bumpy. Oh my God. Man. I guess the climb is actually up that thing. Whew. Definitely still snow on top. I saw pictures from that weather tower. Okay, I guess this is where the fun begins. I guess 7% gradient. But I'm pretty sure this kind of winds up this way. So I'll see how far I can get. Ooh, beautiful. The problem is that this is kind of like a bit sandy in parts, which is brutal. I think I'm gonna stop here. Epic view, but I do have a almost 4K climb back before the descent. So yeah, more than I thought I'd accomplish. I thought I'd just stop in the gravel section, but it's totally worth coming down. Okay, I gotta take the small detour this way. There's like a small building down there, and I think I can get a pretty nice view of this valley. This terrain is, I mean, it's rideable. Oh man. It's beautiful. Off-road a bit. Or off the course. Been off-road for a while. Jeez. Right at the foothills of this mountain. Oh, whoa, there's a graveyard over there. I'm gonna go back up there for a nice view. That looks like such a nice little camping spot. What is this? Wait, oh, it's not a graveyard. Beehives. Yeah, let's not get chased by a swarm of bees, I guess. Wow. How close do you have to get before they start attacking you? I'm not about to find out. Oh, what a view. I didn't bring my big medium format camera because I figured the light wouldn't be very good, which is true. The light is not optimal right now. The mountains are beautiful. Anyways, okay, definitely turning back now. Definitely turning back because this is a dead end for the bike on this side. Nice. Although this view, this might be the best view of the trip. The rest is going to be olive trees for miles and miles. Okay, tell me this isn't the best freaking camping spot ever. Perfectly sheltered by these, they're not olive trees. Looks like there was a campfire, but probably shouldn't be lighting a fire here. Wow. And then, you know, get up in the morning, set up on your hike to summit this, and then you can go steal some honey. Just kidding, don't do that. Whoa. Wowzers. Oh, needs a bit of a clean. There's a real cowboy. Look at the cute lambs. Oh, should eat at the nice spot. At least I have a nice seating area thanks to my frame rack. Still beautiful and in the shade though. Okay, back at the paved section, which means it's downhill for quite a bit. I think there's just one climb left. It's a 4%, 3.4k climb. Oh, also I will put on a jacket because it is quite chilly in the shade, and if I'm just downhill, the extra wind resistance will be good for the less brake use. Yep. Water refill station. Look at is there any fish in here? It is clear. Wow. That is interesting. It's like a little shelter right next to the watering hole. It's handy. You get caught out in a storm or something. Also stopped by the cafe in the town I passed by. Unfortunately, they didn't have any food, so it was just coffee, which was okay. Google satellite view didn't show it all these flowers. Looked just like dry dirt. Wow. It'd be nice if it's like this for the whole ride down the whole greenway.
Uh-oh. Wow. So the last climb is kind of killing me. It's not even that bad, but at one point it's like 8%. I could feel the cramp coming. Wow, thanks, Garmin. Anyways, I'm gonna go get smash burgers, but I just ran out of water, and oh my god, right next to this new bike route over there, if you can see it. But magic, literally an oasis. Filling up now.
Apparently this was supposed to be one of the best burgers in town. It was pretty good. And then I just kind of went shopping for a bit and stopped by some museums because they closed pretty late at 9. I ended up going to 3 of the museums, I think all the 3 main ones in Jaen, and it was pretty awesome. It was interesting to see the landscape paintings inspired by the local area. After the art museum, I wandered up to the Arabic Bath Cultural Center. It's a huge complex with some great panoramic views of the city, and the walk up there was great, going through all the small lanes. Unfortunately, I went to the underground section first, and then I missed the best part of the sunset, but still some great views.
This is pretty cool. Arabic baths under this, I don't know, palace? Built a palace on top of this. What the heck? Wow.
Also, all 3 of these museums are free to go to, so definitely worth checking out if you're in the area.
I missed the sunset. Shouldn't have gone down to the baths underground. Should have came out here first. Today I cycled to that town, and then that's the mountain I was looking at this morning. The weather tower on top. Wow. It's pretty far.
Ended up going back inside to take a look at the rest of the exhibits. A lot of really interesting stuff in there. And that was it for the day. Got lots of cycling done and got to see the city. And the next day I'm heading off to Los Villares. Also ended up having a late dinner of pork cheek. I really wanted to go back to the other tapas place, but I just felt like I should try something different. And here are the stats for the day. The 65-kilometer max speed is kind of ridiculous, but it's because the roads were steep, but they're also pretty straight, so you can just kind of see what's coming up ahead. And yeah, I just let it rip. Also review the route. So I started this morning getting out of the city. I believe this part is it's almost like on an expressway, so it's not for the faint of heart. There's probably a better way, but once you reach this area, the road becomes a lot more quiet. This was the town I went through where I stopped for coffee. And then this is pretty much traffic free. I think there was only one car at this point, and then there was a parking lot here, and the rest was just like no cars at all. Saw a couple hikers, and then this section here was the gravel, and I stopped at that end point there, took a small diversion, and then came back down. Good ride overall, good ride. Yeah, but if you want to try this, it might be good to plan getting out of Jaen. There's probably less direct and more bike friendly way to get there. Oh man, what a mess. Oh, I should definitely get up earlier and enjoy the sun, morning light, but maybe I'll have time to do that in the next few days. This is everything packed on the way to Los Villares, where I'll stay for another hotel night.
Start of the Greenway. This strap is Let's prevent it from squeaking. That was quick. Gravel already. Nice peaceful area. Except this SUV being stuck. Oh, it is quite gravelly. So actually, I think I did come down this way coming into Jaen. So, yeah. See, the clouds are perfect. I'd rather not be too hot. Catching these guys after they passed me when I took a photo. That's cool. Actually, I have a slow leak on the front tire. Jinxed it yesterday. So, I'm gonna have to find a shaded place to change it out.
So after this bridge, I stopped to change the tube, and a couple of British bikepackers caught up just as I was finishing changing it out. We cycled for a few kilometers just chatting and talking about their journey. Unfortunately, the tube I changed out had another slow leak, and then I hit a bump and it ended up having a pretty bad pinch flat.
Hit a bump and I got a pinch flat. So yeah, it was a pretty big bump though. Anyways, I was gonna split off in like 1.5K anyway, so they went off. Cool people. Yep, pinch flat. Yield to cyclists. Wow. Leaving town.
This town was off the Greenway again, but I just wanted to do a diversion to do a climb near this area.
Olives. So many olives. Some nice landscapes.
Also, this is where I finally found the alcohol for my stove. It was funny trying to explain what I was looking for between my non-existent Spanish and my poor vocabulary Mandarin to the storekeeper. They thought I was looking for alcohol to drink.
This hotel has an interesting aesthetic. Wow. Glass? Interesting. Everything is a lot of like welded metal. Like, what the heck? Crazy view though. What the? 45 euros. So it's looking like it'll take about 15 minutes for a rolling boil of 800 milliliters of water. And I guess the cool thing like about these stoves is that they're so simple. I guess in some countries finding fuel can be a bit difficult.
Well, at least the puncture was easy to find. Unfortunately, I did not pack the patch kit, but I did bring this extra tube material, which all you really need is like contact cement, and then cut a little patch and then put it on. I find that works the best with these TQ tubes. So I'm gonna go to the Chinese hardware store and get some contact cement.
This place is massive. What the heck?
Yeah, just went and bought this, which is enough to last me like forever. So contact cement, you just let it dry a bit, and then when the two pieces come together, it forms a pretty good bond. Yeah, it's quite a slow leak. I mean, whoa, look at this bubble. I'll probably release the air a bit so it doesn't push out further. Yeah, I'm just gonna squeeze it down.
I've kind of made a purse to bring some camera and water and snacks because I don't want to bring that thing. Decided to go on a hike
I think I can actually get to that mountain thing there in about an hour, so I don't want to waste a good day, and it's only 350. Patch the tubes. The one that got the snake bite was not really salvageable because when I hit the curb, it rolled like a couple more rotations, and there was like 3, 4, 5 like punctures. So yeah, I just tossed that. I cut a chunk and saved it for patching material in the future. But yeah, it's just garbage.
I'm just basing this on a Google Maps satellite view. I recommend taking this road and then going that way, and then up. It must have just harvested the olives. See a lot of crushed black olives. This road is so sloped. It's crazy. Getting closer though. This part here looks interesting, like some kind of cave. This town is down there. So I took kind of like a very steep way up through the olive groves, but on the way down I'm just gonna follow this road, which should save my calves for tomorrow. Wow. Wonder what's up here.
Apparently something holy happened here, and believers have a pilgrimage here on the 9th of every month. There's also apparently some cave paintings, but I didn't get to see them.
They're guarding some hens. Wow, someone has a farm up here. Just guard dogs. I'm gonna go up above to see the weather tower. But I think that's my hotel right there. Yeah. Guess a bit early for a sunset, but I'm gonna take my time.
As I was walking around to hike up the other side, a couple of motorcyclists came up. They're pretty loud, but it's kind of cool.
Couple of bros. Some Red Bull. Very Red Bull activity, mountain biking up here. I mean, motorcycling up here. I'm above the cliff I was looking at down there. Oh my god. Hey, someone. Oh man. Kinda freaky. Okay, this is crazy. That's the Santa Catalina castle thing in Jaen. So that's Jaen down there. Wow. Kind of a crazy location for it. I guess that's why they built it there. And then a variety of cities. Oh, then maybe that's the other town I went to. And then where's the snowy mountaintop? That one? Oh wow. I think that's it. Okay, this is as close as I'm gonna get at the edge. Oh my god. Jeez. Los Villares is definitely in a valley. All the roads are steep climbs up. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Ooh, that rock looks like it could fall. Better walk quickly.
So I took the long winding path down and walked through some neighborhoods of new builds, and just kind of got back to the hotel early.
I'm back. 6:38. So that was a lot longer than an hour or so. Oh, anyways. Also thought somehow the sunset would be earlier, but it's still very bright. Looking for an epic sunset, but I guess you just kind of get the tip over here. Oh well. So I decided to have a bath because they don't let you plug up the sink. Also, I can find the leak. Look at this. It's leaking from this area. So it's like a manufacturing defect. It's not even a puncture. So this is where the slow leak was coming from. So yeah, I gotta patch that.
For dinner, I just ate one of the dehydrated meal packs that I brought. and some of the snacks that I bought way too many of. And here are the cycling stats of the day. Yeah, I forgot to turn on my wrist heart rate monitor, and I kind of just didn't do it for the rest of the trip. I have no idea why now, thinking back. Would have been good to have those statistics. The route today, so leaving Jaen, I followed the Greenway, and this whole part is the Greenway, all the way up to Martos. And then I kind of took a diversion here to Los Villares, which isn't part of the Greenway. And this road was actually okay as well. It was pretty good for cycling. Road conditions were good and not too many cars. And then coming back down. Yeah, not much to report. It's a pretty short day, which was good because it allowed me to explore a bit. And this was for the hike. And that's pretty much it for this video. I think I'll just end it here, and then I'll save the last 3 or 4 days of cycling and the trip for the next part of the video. I think this video was more just kind of like vlogging about the trip than the cycling itself. But at the next video will be a lot more cycling and less sightseeing. But hope you've enjoyed the video so far, and just kind of me documenting this trip. I actually don't do that much solo traveling, so it's kind of nice just being able to set your own schedule and doing whatever feels about right.